We're going to go from Mary Kay to Aditi Kinkhabwala after a quick word from Mazda for those who believe it's not just about playing, it's about redefining the game each and every week, because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible, reminding us to go that extra yard, shift into that extra gear, and keep the game moving forward. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda. Mazda, move and be moved. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome in Aditi Kinkhabwala to the show. How are you doing today, Aditi?
I'm okay. Actually,
okay.
I'm crazy, but it feels like that's always that I'm crazy. I don't know. Do people how are you supposed to answer that? Do people want the real answer, or should you just say I'm great because no one cares?
I want the real
otherwise?
answer. And if Mike doesn't want the real answer, then he shouldn't ask the question.
I always want the truth.
That's a fair point. I'm
Right?
okay. I'm to be perfectly honest,
Yeah.
I'm a bit tired. It's been every single week this season.
Yeah.
I've come home basically at 2 or 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
I'm not as young as I used to be. How did I do that in college, by the way? Like, how did I roll in at 2 or 3 a.m.
Adrenaline.
every night and be okay?
Man.
And now on Sundays,
Boy.
And you went to a hoity-toity college, right? Didn't you? Didn't you go Ivy League or something?
Well, I did. I went to Cornell, but in Ithaca, what do you do in
fancy,
Ithaca
man.
other than have a good time?
I didn't even know all that. Okay. You got to say that with your chest. If I was Ivy League, you'd never hear it from me.
Hey, Cornell is the reigning national champion in lacrosse, which is very exciting.
Of course.
We could talk Cornell all day if you want.
They're probably good at field hockey, too, right?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't actually know.
By the way, Ithaca College, which is right near Cornell, because Cornell's in Ithaca,
Correct.
the students that go there are the most stuck-up students of all time.
Really?
They were our rival at college. They're a Division III school. They were our football rival. But they were very, like, Brockport's a state school and Ithaca's a private school. So they kind of looked down on us when we would go there because it was like a lot of rich kids. Beautiful view from there. One of the most beautiful views ever is from their football press box. But the reason I bring it up is because I went there when I was doing play-by-play for another D3 school once, and we were a new program. It was only our second year there. And we were getting killed by everybody. And Ithaca had a good D3 program. I don't know if they still do. But we went there, and I knew we were going to lose by like 50, maybe 60. Like, it was going to be totally one-sided. And I walk into the press box, and you know me, even then when I was in college, or just out of college, I walk into the press box, and there's like 40 people, which doesn't happen in a Division III press box. I walk in, and as loud as I can be, I'm like, Utica College is going to kick some Ithaca ass today. And you thought
that is not appropriate press box behavior. Did you not know?
I was trying to joke around because it was obvious that was not going to happen. And I had been there like 4 times because I had come with college and anyway, and you would have thought that I just like shot somebody the way they reacted because nobody said a word. They looked at me like I was the devil. It was the craziest thing.
Bill,
And I
have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You being a rabble rouser
Yes.
shocks me.
Yeah.
Shocks me.
Of course.
I mean,
how could you not?
Now,
where did that come from?
He buried the lead on this. He
What did I
buried
do?
the lead. He buried the lead. Yesterday, you're oversharing. You were
I'm
oversharing.
oversharing, sorry.
You're oversharing.
Oh, wow.
No, but
You put him in his spot, clearly.
I'm bringing it back to your spot. I'm bringing it back to y'all.
Go.
He said yesterday on the show, he said 2 of the most people I respect in my life in the media was Aditi and Jason Lloyd. He then went on in the second sentence to diss everybody else and said, he don't give a rap. You know what? With nobody else in the media.
But he probably only said that because
nobody.
he was about to disagree with something, right?
Yes, he was.
He's setting up to say Jason and Aditi are totally wrong about something.
And so here you go.
That
That's the
why it
perfect.
came up?
We set him up to set this up. Go ahead.
So what
Bill.
I said, not necessarily that you guys are wrong, but that I've felt for about a year that I was ready to move on from Kevin Stefanski. That I don't believe he's this genius that he's been professed to be, and that the offense is a total disaster. There's been I went on a whole list of things why I've lost faith in him, and I said that because I respect you so much and Jason so much, and what I said yesterday was I don't really care about most people's opinions about me, but that you and Jason, I care about your opinion of me, unlike most people in the business. And so I think I allowed that because I know you and Jason both think extremely highly of Kevin Stefanski. But that doesn't mean you guys are right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. But I said I think I allowed that for me to go away from my gut a little bit in that I felt like Stefanski, I no longer feel like he's the right man for the job. Now, I don't know that there is a right man for this job because it's a joke organization, but that's where we got to. So, yeah.
Well, Bull, I think that if you genuinely have respect for people, then you argue well. I don't want everybody in my life to agree with everything that I ever say.
I think I certainly have proven we don't agree all the time. Yeah.
Well, I think it's team of rivals, right?
Yes.
Like that's what makes you smarter, is if you're willing to consider alternate points of view when people come at things in a different way. That's what opens your mind. That's what allows you to consider other things. So I would hate that. I so appreciate that you respect the way that I come to whatever thoughts or conclusions or feelings that I have, but you sure as heck don't have to agree with me. And you don't have to be pushed off of what you feel strongly about just because I disagree.
No, it was more that I thought I was doubting my feelings about Stefanski because I was like, well, two smart people that I know really like him, so maybe I was seeing it wrong.
We're waiting for the rebuttal. Tell him why he's wrong.
No,
why am I wrong?
Here's it's so funny because this weekend, guys, this weekend I had the Titans-Cardinals game, and the Titans upset the Cardinals in the most crazy
game I've ever seen.
I would cut Amari DiMercado.
Right?
I know,
Dustin,
stupid.
have you ever seen anything that pick, fumble, Tyler Lockett fall on it in the end zone touchdown?
The Tennessee Titans could play that game 100 times and they'll lose 99 times.
Yeah, well, between that and what is DiMercado doing? What is he doing?
It's not the
You know what? That's the second time I've seen that in 2 years. I was in Denver last year when Jonathan Taylor did it.
Yeah.
And that completely changed that game. The Colts were winning right there. That was everything. Changed the game.
You dropped the ball.
It's so stupid.
You dropped the ball and you celebrate. I got down on both knees and praised the up high.
It is one of the dumbest things anybody could ever do.
This is why I yell at my kid all the time that the game is not about showboating or celebrating.
Yes.
The game is about doing what your job is. So, make sure you're across the goal line. Keep that ball high and tight no matter what, even if nobody is behind you. You just go.
Crazy.
Go ahead.
I would have punted the ball in the stand, so I would have definitely ran into you.
But once you were in the end zone,
I'd have crossed it and
do whatever the hell you want. Whatever the hell you want, just get in the end zone. Anyway,
but remember, I was raised on Larry Fitzgerald, where you act like you've been there. You score, you hand the ball to ref.
Nick Chubb.
I'm glad you said that, Aditi, because I'd never been there before, so therefore I'm gonna act up because I never did it before. All right, let me lock in. All right, Pittsburgh Browns this Sunday.
Okay.
What is the Browns' chance? Obviously, the Pittsburgh's defense hasn't been exactly the steel curtain. They're dealing with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. The Browns' offensive line is trash. What do you see? How do you see this thing playing out?
I need this Browns defense to get more takeaways. That's the thing about the Steelers defense, right? The linebackers have all these communication issues, which in theory should be great for the way the Browns are using their tight ends, because that's what that matchup is. But the Steelers defense is constantly saving the day because it's punching the ball out. So this Browns defense that is supposed to be the best defense in the league, get the ball. Score, take some control. And I know that technically it's not your job to score, but score. Pick up the team where the team needs to be picked up. And yes, when you have a rookie quarterback and you have a wide receiver, like you just said, Jerry Jeudy, my poor son who drafted Jerry Jeudy on his fantasy team, is complaining to me about Jerry Jeudy on a daily basis. Yes, things are not necessarily going the way that you want. Your margin of error has really shrunk, but your defense is supposed to be lights out. So do more.
Yeah,
do more.
And seal the deal.
Do your job and do your job better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I said they didn't seal the deal last week either.
That's why I felt like, look, you can look, and they should have been able. Yes, the Browns should have been able to run their 4-minute offense. Yes, you wish that they could have gotten a first down. Yes, a seasoned quarterback, a good offense is able to close out the game right there. Well, that's not what you have right now. Okay, you have a rookie quarterback making his first ever start overseas. part of this is learning. Part of this is you have to acknowledge and recognize that the guy's not going to step in and be Tom Brady year 16. So then you need your defense to seal the deal. And the defense didn't do that. So I hold that unit sort of more culpable. And I know it's a team sport and it's not about units, but you had a chance to close that game. You were going against an offensive line that was starting, 3 new guys against a quarterback who holds the ball longer than anybody on the planet holds the ball. And seriously, the game was that close? I really thought that they were going to punch out the ball a heck of a lot more and make life a lot harder for Carson Wentz than they did. I really did.
Aditi, what's the league saying about Dillon Gabriel and his performance after week 1? Was it decent? Was it good? Was it this guy's a change? I mean, it's one game, but I mean, what
I
do
think,
people think?
Yes.
What do you think, too?
So I've been talking to coaches since training camp who have said that they got the sense that Kevin Stefanski really liked Dillon Gabriel, and they could tell why. And so much of this is just that Dillon Gabriel is totally a Kevin Stefanski type person. He works insanely hard. He studies. There's no drama. You tell him something once and he fixes it. He's efficient. He's not flashy. He's just simply doing the job as it's asked of him. And
he speaks advanced
all of
nerd.
those are good things. I mean, that's what he is, right? So anyone that I've talked to about the Browns-Vikings game has expressed more disappointment in the unit that you expect more of, which is the defense. And the Dillon Gabriel feedback has simply been, okay, he did what was sort of expected of him, which is be efficient and not lights out.
Well,
at what point do you think
he'll start the rest of the year?
At no point, wait, hold on, let me just say this. At no point, Dustin, have we thought that Dillon Gabriel is going to put this team on his shoulders and carry it to victory, right?
True.
So all you can ask of him is be efficient and don't make mistakes.
Do you think that he will start the rest of the season, or will we see Shedeur at some point, or somebody else?
I think if he's healthy,
barring he's healthy,
right?
Will he start the rest of the year?
I think Shedeur still has quite a bit of growth to show. You may see Shedeur, but I don't know that that's because he's looking better or done more or beaten out Dillon Gabriel, unless there's suddenly, instead of growth, there's maybe if Shedeur does that, then that would change the dynamic. But you might see him because Jimmy Haslam said in training camp that you need to get a look at these two quarterbacks, these two rookie quarterbacks. That might be part of it.
I think at some point this season, I know this is crazy, I don't think I've ever said this in 25 years of doing this. At some point this season, if the season's over, which it pretty much is already, but let's say they lose the next 4 games and Dillon Gabriel's okay, whatever. At some point, give the fans want to see Shedeur Sanders play. So put him out there at some point. I know that.
Okay, and is the most important thing catering to the fans, or developing your talent?
Of course it's developing talent. But what do you mean? You mean the other players? Or are you saying, Dillon Gabriel's probably not their long-term answer, which is...
I mean, I love that you say this after one game. Can you give the guy a chance?
No.
My goodness, we are so... I said this on the radio. So
right.
I told you, I had this game, this Cardinals-Titans game. And I said this on the radio this morning. I was on with my old friend Ramon Foster, who does radio every morning down in Nashville. And I was a newspaper writer. Bull knows this. I was a newspaper writer for the first 10 years of my life. Then the NFL Network hired me. I had never been on television in my life. I knew nothing about television. I literally did not know that a microphone is so powerful that if you're in the loud Superdome, you don't need to scream into the microphone, that it'll just pick up whatever you're saying. I didn't know what an IFB was. I was used to writing 1,000-word stories. I didn't know how to talk in 30-second sound bites. I knew nothing about TV. And the NFL Network knew this going in. They hired me knowing that I knew nothing about TV. And 2 months in, the executive who hired me apparently said to a room full of other executives, I was completely wrong about her. She will no way ever make it on television. She doesn't have what it takes.
What a jerk.
2 months in. I knew nothing about TV. I was
Yeah.
not being taught anything about TV. You knew that I knew nothing about TV when you hired me, but you wanted to write me off 2 months in. And not that I'm sitting here like patting myself on the back, but 13 years later, I think I figured it out.
We'll pat you on the back. We'll pat you on the back. No, yeah.
Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Talk your talk, Aditi.
To be fair,
Maybe when you have a young green rookie, maybe when you have a kid who's making his first ever start in the National Football League Bowl, you give him a chance. Maybe you don't write him off one start in.
I'm not writing him off. Let me make it clear. I'm not writing him off based on one game. I thought he was
did.
okay.
He did nothing in that game to write him off.
I
mean, there's nothing.
I was just saying, going into the season, my going into his career, my expectation is like you got to. We make opinions. That's what we do, right? And everybody that's talked about Dillon Gabriel, nobody really thinks he's going to be a starter.
Play
in the
odds,
NFL.
Bull.
Okay,
third-round quarterbacks
going
make it.
into my career as a 22-year-old newspaper writer in San Antonio, Texas, covering high school football, no one thought I was going to be a national broadcast sideline reporter. And here I am. So, like, you're making a judgment on him before you've even given him a chance to do anything.
But that's the job.
And again,
that's the job. We got to give opinions. We got to give opinions.
Aditi.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And I have to give mine. And mine is...
You're right. It's unfair. You're 100% correct. It's unfair to say he's not going to be a starting quarterback in the league. You're correct.
Aditi, let me preface this way, okay?
Go ahead.
Because I think this is kind of what Dustin was trying to allude to and trying to get a sense of, and I think this is kind of what fans want to know. So let's say this season plays out. Let's say the Browns do absolutely nothing, and let's say that Dillon Gabriel is just okay. He's right around where he's at right now, right? And the Browns decide to move on from Kevin Stefanski, which a lot of people say is a bad idea. But let's say that they decide to move on from Kevin Stefanski. They hire this new coach. Is Dillon Gabriel good enough for that new coach to come in and say, I'm rolling with that guy?
Too early.
Would he decide to get his own guy?
Yeah, too early.
Again, too early, and I will say this. And I'm sorry I have to go to my crew meeting, but I'll say this. Last year I talked to Peyton Manning, and I don't believe in stability for the sake of stability, but I agree with Peyton Manning when he said that one of the things that is most detrimental to young quarterbacks is constantly changing things up on them. And so let's give a coach a chance to work with a quarterback. And maybe that's only this season. But after 1 week, we can't sit here and already start speculating about what some other guy is going to do with him. Let's give it a chance. I mean, for all you know, look, Mike Tomlin said he's afraid of Joe Flacco. Maybe the first half doesn't go great and Joe Flacco goes in there. Who knows?
Mike
That's
Tomlin's
part
not
of the
afraid
magic
of Joe
of what.
Flacco.
Mike Tomlin.
You didn't hear that? You didn't hear him say that last year in Indy, he told his team, don't hurt Anthony Richardson. Don't get him out of this game. And then Anthony Richardson gets out of the game. Joe Flacco comes in and beats the Steelers.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson is terrible.
That's a whole other conversation. Guys, I got to do my crew meeting. I have the Patriots and the
Aditi,
Saints.
by the way, Aditi with an impressive name drop of like Peyton. I was talking with Peyton Manning. Excuse me.
I mean, I was.
Wow.
I don't know, like sometimes it just happens.
You know what, Aditi? 15 years ago, that man would have never thought you'd have been doing that. Look at that.
That's right.
Aditi really flexed on this interview today.
She did. I'm impressed. I mean,
Thanks,
done.
Didi.
all right.